Here we are with my lathe. It's a Grizzly G0602. There are several Chinese lathe 10 by 22 lathes or 9.5 by 22 lathes that are use the same casting. Today I'm looking at the cross slide. Flaw 42 brought up that his cross slide was bearing down on top of the dovetails, which it should not. It should be bearing down at the base of the dovetails. So I took a look at mine, and guess what? Mine's bearing down on the top of the dovetails too. So let me show you how you can check. Okay, I've repositioned the camera so you can see better. I'm going to take the cross slide off. I'm going to darken the tops of the dove. All right. Now let's put the cross slide back in place. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bear down on it. I'm going to slide it back and forth. And whoa, Jilly, look at that. They disappeared. They're getting wiped off. Back at my bench, I'm going to make some measurements on the cross slide. It's got it upside down. I'm just going to use my caliper here, and I'm going to measure the height at each end and in the middle and write it down. All right, I'm going to point out the problem here. The tops of those dovetails are in this region here. And if you look closely, you can actually see where it's been wearing. Those are not finished machine, or those are not ground surfaces. It looks like that's just what the dovetail cutter left. So they should actually not be in contact with anything. Back over at the lathe, I'm going to make similar measurements on the tops of the cross slide, which do appear to be ground, and I'm just going to use a 1, 2, 3 block to make sure that the bevel on the edge of the dovetail doesn't influence my measurement. I don't know why these are so different. Anyway, these numbers should not be bigger than the cross slide numbers. So when the numbers on the saddle are larger than the numbers on the cross slide, it means it's greater distance up to the top of the dovetail than it has clearance. So the cross slide ends up riding on top of the dovetail. The way I'm going to address this is I'm going to remove some material from the top of the cross slide. And I think I'll just take a flat file and I'll do some draw filing. This is my biggest flat file. Alrighty, after working on this for about 45 minutes, you can see I have all these down, all of them below the smallest measurement from the cross slide. I did a couple things to note. Number one, this is a wider area where you got to remove material than over here. And number two, this is pretty hard stuff. So I found that bearing most of my weight on the handle into the file and just letting this end skate allowed me to remove material at a reasonable rate. So basically I worked this side until I got my numbers, and then I went around and worked this side a little bit. That's it. So now let's get the cross slide and darken up these top of these dovetails and see what happens. Looks like we have just a tiny bit of contact there and there. So I'll work it a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate the technique I just talked about. Trying to work the near end of the left side down. Take two. Already darkened up the ways. Here we go. Looks like we got it. All right, I'm back. Put everything back together. Cross slide and move some more smoothly than it ever has. Wanted to test out and see how this works. I was parting off, this is 2-inch diameter aluminum. I was parting it off earlier today and it was squealing a little bit. So we'll see if there's any improvement. Little WD-40. Wow. There you have it. Parted her right off.